Chapter 7: Real versus Imaginary. The 31st of December, 2021. Do you find it fun to speak to yourself in the second person, you, in your writings? He asked. Or putting the word he or they to something you wrote? She asked. For some reason, I find these questions to be more complex than its fun aspect. I answer. How so? When do you use these pronouns? When I think I need that specific character persona to say something. You must be using multiple sources to write, yet you never give proper credit. How so? I ask. We are all the same, they reply. No matter how many movies I watch or how many books I read, I cannot have enough of projecting the storyline on my own life. I interrupt. Add the following for your future reference insanity, she said. You are not what you read. You are not what you write. You are not what you play, and you are definitely not what you see. You are only mindful of your surroundings. Doubt gives birth to sin and does not always justify reality. But the following lines are real. For you are but a speckle of dust. Your own persona contributes but short lines compared to ours, and you, author, can never be us. You can't yet comprehend the myriad of ideas that run through your head. You can never be more than a single digit in the history of time. You can never be more than human, she said. Yes, yes, here you need a female voice. In fact, everything you have written is mere passing thoughts. Most of them are wrong. Some could be right, but they are never at the extremes. Aristotle could have said. Now, back to the writing style. Do you think that people who speak to themselves in second person are sane? He asks. Why would they not be? Isn't that what they call moral compass? I ask. At least you believe that people incline towards a good outcome. I sometimes wonder if I can become that small white dot in the island of black in the yin yang symbol. I write, for I am keen on sustaining my imagination in a world where reality is hard to fathom still. Well, you do like video games. Had it not been for video games, I might have chosen anything other than computer science. You still listen to the girl, remember? The one who used to see you play video games in your mother's salon, she said. Yes, yes, you just heard that song in your head. The same song that you heard that day she told you, I prophesy. I prophesy that you will become a very successful computer engineer. The lyrics were catchy, I thought. When was that? 1997? The detail specific persona spoke. I do not remember, but probably. Sound familiar? Yes, my wife's birthday. I write. Oh, the irony. I write, and they do not say. Well, we got you by the throat. They hint, literally. I've had a tight throat this whole day. It is probably because you haven't slept all night, Mr. Multitongue, they reason. Maybe, I do not know, I say out loud, closing the document. Speaking of Yennefer, oh, never mind that now, you're leaving. Toodles. She leaves. The 7th of January, 2022. Lucid dreams or sleep paralysis. Some people think these are different, two concepts that do not share any common factor. a state in which everything is possible, and another state in which not even moving your head to a different angle is allowed. How is that relevant, you ask? Because they are uncontrollable events, both of them. Do you believe in the movies about lucid dreaming, where people would be able to ask their own dream to follow a specific sequence they make up? Isn't that possible? I remember I did it once, I said. Or maybe multiple times, I don't remember. And how did you do it exactly? I don't remember. I used to read a lot about those paranormal and parapsychological events, but most of it did not work and did not make sense to me. I've had several lucid dreams. It was not as scary as I thought it might be. What things did you ask your dreams to do for you? Anything. Did you abstain from certain things in those dreams? Now, I think that depends on the dreamer and his own mentality before the dream. For me, I abstained from many things, like asking someone to die in the dream. That would have been horrible. Well, you can't really kill them, can you? Who? Aren't dreams just recollections of past experiences and memories of people we met before? It can be, but that does not mean you can ask them to die and they would. That is true. But again, a lucid dream, as far as I know, is the ability to live inside the dream. No. Lucid dreaming is like adding salt to an already baked cake. A normal dream is called a vision in the event that it helps guide you. A lucid dream only adds feeling to that guidance. I don't really believe what I just wrote, I thought. Did you dream of them today? I did. How many were they? It's hard to say. I dreamt of 5 of them, but I could only see some of their faces. Explain then, how did your lucid dream begin? It all started today with a pill. I had ordered a lung cleaning medicine. I will spare you the promo, but I slept afterwards and had a dream that I was lying on some bed, unable to move easily. I noticed that I had my left leg up, but I normally am too obsessed with relaxing my legs, so I do not lift any of my legs that way. I tried to lower it, but I was unable to do that. I looked to my right and found my own body lying down. It was as though I was looking at myself from another person's point of view. And this person is supposedly sitting on the left side of my body, thus in front of my face. Yes, I was sleeping on my left side. The weird thing happened even before. I couldn't move my leg. I thought it was someone speaking to me. My leg was speaking to me, as if it stayed up on its own volition and did not obey my command to lay itself down. I started to freak out, then and there. I thought I had a sleep paralysis episode because I used to have those in my youth. Was that a lucid dream or a sleep paralysis episode? Well, it did look like a hint of both, weirdly enough. When I looked to my right and saw my body, I knew I was not in control. I now remember something to do with leaving your body thinking about it. Another term called astral projection. These are things that I read about once during my high school years but stopped believing in them. They just happened and continued to happen since. My sleep paralysis used to be very scary. I would wake up crying in the middle of the night. My mom even woke me up and stayed up with me through the night in one of those episodes as I was crying after one of them. This time, however, I knew I had to uncover my leg. I wanted to see who was speaking. What did your leg say exactly? I do not remember, unfortunately. Everything happened so fast. When I managed to ask for my leg to be exposed, I was somehow transferred into a different dream, one where there were five distinguishable people. I could recognize some of their faces, but not all of them. Then what happened? The sequence is not accurate, but if my memory serves me, I will try to scaffold. The five people were there. I knew they were meant to be there. At that point in time, I called their life. I know it is weird, but it wasn't lucid at all. It seemed like reality. Don't they all? They do. The people were also very energetic. They kept moving around. We went to what I called my house there. The house had different floors, but I felt like I needed a shower. I felt filthy and repulsive. When I get into the shower, a figure I did not know comes to me, holds my hand, and says that they want to see me and asked me not to have the shower yet. I did not fully recognize the person because I was not allowed to look him in the face no matter how hard I tried. He was supposedly a friend of mine whom I knew when we were children. He died a long time ago in Syria. He claimed that he was given a chance to speak to me and tell me his name and where I know him from. And I did. After remembering him, however, he was ousted from the dream. One of the females was now sitting next to me, laying her head on mine as if praying for me to get through this whole experience safe and sane. And her other companions were speaking to each other, seemingly not even paying attention to what she was saying. I was joyous and happy for once, so I whispered to her, Alhamdulillah, thank God. To which all five people replied, Ameen, in unison, as if all of them heard what I said. I was then moved to a well-known square around my neighborhood in Syria. There I had one of those people on my back. We used to play a similar game when we were kids, but the dream ends with me realizing that I was past time for prayer and I had to get back home. However, I find myself hanging from a pole on the wall, Prince of Persia style. Two girls were behind me, poking me with pens as if to make me fall to my death. I jump and catch one of them, but she turns into blueberries, lots of them. I think that is what woke me up from this very lucid dream.